Good morning. We're going to get this sprayer unhooked here and switch that PTO shaft on this tractor and get our mower hooked back up. I'm pretty sure we're done with this. I was just playing with my rate controller, seeing if I could get it to work today, and the backlit on the display is very, very faint. I can't read what it says, but it does light up, so I think that monitor, the display, has gone bad, and I don't know if it's fixable or not. Might be cheaper to just get a new one, but they don't make that one anymore, so you'd have to upgrade. I don't know. Not a big deal. We don't use this enough to really worry about it or spend much money on it, but it is nice to have it working. So the pump on that sprayer that we just unhooked is run off this PTO, and it uses a 540 RPM PTO shaft, which is what we've got sticking out here. Our mower uses 1000 RPM shaft, and so we've got to switch this. I think I've showed this before, but we'll do it again anyway. Basically, there's a snap ring right here that's holding that in there. We got to pull that shaft out and flip it around, and see this hole on the end of that? Take note of that, it's important. Okay, so there's our snap ring. Don't lose it. And then this shaft comes out, and we spin it around, and see this end, the splines are different, and there's no hole. So inside there, in the very back of that, there's a peg or a button or whatever you want to call it in there. And when you stick that end in, it pushes the button in. When you stick this end in, like we're going to do, it does not push that button in, which makes it, that's what changes the speed in the tractor and changes the RPMs of the PTO shaft. So we got to put that back in there, and now we just got to get that snap ring in, and then we're good to go. Okay, that was easy. I've had this snap ring before where this tabs break off. That makes this very, very difficult. I think one time we had both tabs break off of that snap ring. Yeah, I don't remember how we even got it out of there, but it was not easy. Okay, we've got to get our tongue up, and this mower doesn't use a jack like most equipment. You got to use the hydraulics to kind of move it around, and I think the stand is sunk into the ground, which may make this fairly difficult. Okay, well, I was able to get it. Good deal. Okay, we have got this hooked up. I think we're good to go. Okay, so I got that hooked up. Everything's running. We're good to go. Before I go and do any mowing, though, I've got 6 acres to spray for a neighbor. This Roundup, which I really wanted to use that other sprayer for, but because that rate controller is not working, it's not gonna happen. So we get to use the big sprayer. It's not anything that I wouldn't be able to use this, you know, like muck like we've been dealing with. It's 6 acres, and I don't really need the big sprayer. Gosh dang, I get dirty a lot. Anyway, so we're gonna load up 6 acres worth of chemical in this sprayer and go spray it. And it won't take very long, but let's just get it done. 6 acres. 6 acres. We did it. We made one pass around the outside and a half a pass through the middle. And I even had just the right amount of chemical. Okay, that was a rather long trip for 3 minutes of spraying, but it's done. Helping a guy out. Yeah. Now we're gonna go, what are we gonna do? We're gonna go back up to the irrigation field. We're gonna jump in the gator, run up there, and look around. I'm probably gonna start the pump up. Here's the deal. So yesterday it didn't look like it needed to be done, but I was also there first thing in the morning. I think if I would have went up in the middle of the afternoon, I would have had a different idea about it. We are supposed to, or there's a pretty good chance of some rain overnight tonight into tomorrow morning, which would be great if we get it. I'm not sure that we're going to, but we'll see. So from that standpoint, I probably should just wait until tomorrow. But we're still putting on this nitrogen, the 28, and so I want to get over the whole field again anyway. So if I start it up and make a couple runs here today before it rains, or it might rain, then at least we can get a little bit done with that, and If it doesn't rain, we'll be running, and if it does rain, we'll shut her down for a few more days. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, I'm starting up the generator here. I did add a little bit of oil. It wasn't terribly low, but it was on the lower end of the range. So since I don't know when this will shut down, I just add a little bit. I'm gonna let it warm up here for a minute before I start to pump up. Well, it's definitely drier out here today than it was yesterday. Ground's still a little moist on top in the centers there, but not as much. We are going to start this up. Let's let it run. Let's get a little nitrogen on here, get a run or two done, and then we'll move on, see what we get for rain. Maybe we'll shut it down, maybe we won't. So I think everything here is ready to go. Let's see what we've got for footage. 818 feet, so I'll have to do some math and see how long that one's going to take, but we'll start up our pump. I think I beat the water here by about 5 minutes. Waiting for it to build pressure. Oh, that water smells terrible. Been in the hose or the pipe. There we go. Oh yeah, it's awful. It'll take 10 minutes to get the water from the river here out of the stuff that hasn't been sitting in the pipe. Okay, time to go. Oh, that stuff smells so bad. Okay, well, our motor is running, the belt's driving, it seems to be holding together okay. If you didn't see it a few days ago when we were finishing up, I don't know, a week ago, 5 days ago, I had this keyway strip out between that pulley and the motor, and we put a new key in and JB welded it up, and I think it's going to run and be okay, but I don't know, we'll see. It's working okay for now. Guess we're good. Let her go. 7 hours. This is going to take 7 hours yet. Yesterday somebody asked me what our dryland areas of this field are looking like that don't get the water since we had the rain on Friday, and well, they did perk up for a few days. They are rolling up again, and not great. So we're still dry. We aren't out of the woods by any means from getting that little bit of rain. The areas that we've been watering are in much better shape because they weren't as dry to start with, but that's why we're starting it back up, because we don't want it to look like that. Okay, so I'm back at the farm. Turns out I have 3 trucks coming to pick up empty boxes today. 3. I knew one was coming. I had no idea on the other 2. And so I'm gonna go grab some lunch early here. It's a little before noon. I think the first one's gonna be here at about 12:30, a little over half an hour for now. So get something to eat real quick, and then we're gonna be running around loading boxes for probably a couple of hours. Fun. Okay, well, all of those boxes and most of those pallets are leaving here in the next couple of hours. We've got 3 trucks coming, I guess. So none here yet. We're gonna go walk through some plots, just take a look at stuff while we're waiting, and then we'll get them loaded up. Here's those real early planted beans that I've been keeping you guys kind of updated every now and then on. Full bloom here now. We're starting to set some pods. This little piece right here is a pod. Come on, look through the holes. Yeah, they look good. Ooh, look at this down here. Look at that pod. Nice. They definitely got hurt because I let the weeds get so big on them, but we do have some pods. I'm surprised to see that. Look at that. Starting to even get some depth to them. Cool. They look good. I can't believe those beans made it. I planted them on March 17th, guys. March 17th. That's awesome. This corn here is definitely dry and hurting from dry weather. We need some more rain on it, but we're on the full season end of the plot here. This is 113-day corn. We got a couple of 112s, 111. Those should handle the heat and the dry weather a little bit better than the earlier stuff. We'll see. That remains to be determined yet, but yeah, generally full season corn handles heat and drought stress better than early maturing varieties. And I tend to push the maturities on the fuller season a little bit more than a lot of people around here. And I think that's going to really help us this year. So this variety here is one of our Irrigation artesian hybrids. It's got some drought tolerant genes in it and should do pretty well. It looks good. It's sort of got a really upright leaf, and they are curling some, but not terribly severe. So I don't know. It'll be interesting once we get into harvest to see how that one compares to the ones around it. As I get into the earlier stuff, look at what we got there. Starting to poke a few tassels out. What maturity are we in here? 102 day here, so looks like a few more down in this even earlier stuff. This one's even shedding pollen already. We'll talk about this a lot more, but you see all this stuff hanging off there? Those are the anthers that shed the pollen. And you can get down on the silks there. Here we've got a, I think it's a 99-day experimental. Definitely flowering ahead of some of these other ones. A lot of pollen shed, a lot of silks hanging off there. And we've got a 99-day and a 95-day. This one's the 99. And then there's a 95 down here, which has got a bunch of deer damage in it and will probably get destroyed by the raccoons if the deer don't take care of it first. So definitely some differences. I need to come through here and clean up this edge with my mower, and I should get signs up, but with the whole COVID-19 thing and shutting down any real gatherings, it doesn't look like I'm going to have any people out here too much or events for people to come and see the plots, so I haven't been in a big hurry to do it. I don't know if you guys can see here that this strip here is a little bit yellow compared to the ones over there. This is the strip where I did not put any nitrogen on side dress, and it's really starting to show up. And if you look down here at these bottom leaves, like this one, you'll see that it's dying from the tip in. It's a V pattern on the inside, right through the midrib of the leaf. Turns yellow and dies and stuff, but the edges are still staying fairly green. That's classic nitrogen deficiency symptoms there. So that's what we look for to show that these plants are suffering from nitrogen deficiency, which when you don't put any on, you kind of expect that. So some leaves are worse than others, but this is going to keep working its way up the plant. Eventually it'll be these leaves way up here that are showing it. Corn plants will kind of cannibalize themselves from the bottom up. And so you see nutrient deficiencies, drought symptoms, they work up from the bottom to try and preserve those upper leaves that are doing most of the work this time of year. And eventually it just catches up with it where it can't even support that. So, but down here where we put nitrogen on, we don't see any of that. We're green all the way to the base of the plant. That's a good thing. I hear a truck. There it is. All right, there's truck number one. We'll get him loaded up and out of here. Okay, so that first truck that got here was actually the one to go to my customers just down the road. And so I sent him over there. He's going to load up at that one. And there's the next truck that can't figure out how to get in the driveway. Oh, man. So we're going to load this one up, maybe, if he can get backed up to the door. Okay, well, we're down to, what's that, 15? Got a full truck. He took 44. In order to get 44 in there, you got to tip one on its side and set one on top of it. Most guys don't mess with it, but he did, so I'll give him credit for that. We got another truck coming sometime in the next hour or so, I imagine. We'll get these, throw our pallets in, and then go over to that other place and get the rest of them. Just gonna walk through the bean plot here a little bit. I am standing in right here, Pepsi, not beer today, the break between one of my seed treatment trials. This one was the Cruiser Max Alivo. This one is the Cruiser Max Saltro. They look pretty similar. This row may be bushed out just a touch more. I would call the difference at this point negligible, but they are loaded up with flowers on both sides. Look at all those beautiful purple flowers. So I would call the differences, visible differences at this stage, negligible, but we'll see when we get to yield. There was certainly a difference in them early. This entry right here, 3152E3, It's an enlist bean, it's not an extend. That bean looks dang good, especially knowing that one there on that side is our 3195s. Those are as good of beans as we've got in the extend lineup, so it doesn't mean anything right now other than that they look really good. We'll see when they get to yield, but man, that one has stood out for a while. It's impressive. 2.5 E3, they're a little shorter, but they look good. There's pods starting. What do we got here? 2.5, 2552. This is an extend bean. Yeah. There goes the Baling crew, getting ready to start making bundles with their new Bale Baron. We'll see if we got time this afternoon. We'll go check that operation out. Good grief, look at this. Look at all these leaves laying on the ground. You know what that's from? It's from the dang deer. They come through, they bite the top of the plant off, and then they only eat part of it and leave the rest laying on the ground. Whole outside row getting destroyed. Ridiculous. Anyway, I think while I'm waiting for this third truck to show up, I'm gonna go get the lawnmower. We'll start mowing this lawn, and I'll be here when he gets here and accomplish something in the meantime. If only it wasn't 90 degrees out. Well, I didn't make it very far mowing. Like, not even around the yard one time. Truck's here, so we'll get him loaded up. Okay, those four stay. Long story, but last year with the returns and some people kept some seed, and so we had to keep boxes last year, which meant I bought them, and then I got them returned this year from the customers that had them, so I get to keep them, along with those two over there that I had already bought before. So we're done here. We've got to go over to my one customer. We've got 6 boxes over there to put on, and then my returns are done. Awesome. Okay, well, here's the last 6 to go on this truck, and then we're done. Okay. Well, I didn't expect that today. I knew I had one truck coming, but hey, we got rid of all my boxes, so that's done. Let's head back to the farm, figure out what else we can find to do today. Dad took the 7520, the mower, so I assume he's doing the mowing that he needed done himself, which is what I was going to do. So that's good, taking care of that. I do want to get some equipment stuffed in the barn, combine, maybe the grain cart if we can find room for it, and some of that stuff. So we'll move some stuff around there. And then maybe I'll get time to mow my lawn yet. Well, there's the combine. Tuck that in there as far as I could get it, and I think I've got room to get the grain cart backed in there. I don't know if I'll be able to leave the tractor hooked up, but we should be able to get it inside at least. Wow, we got all kinds of room. I think I got the tractor in and everything. Cool. So I was hanging out in the office here for a second. Got a couple of deliveries. One, look, it's the packing for our pump that I ordered before we found the one that we came with it originally. I think that is enough for maybe 50 years. Cut to fit, apparently. But, yeah, okay. Just remember where it's at so you don't order another one the next time. And look at this. We got a box. It's got my name on it and everything. I don't know where it is. I did not order this. But this is cool. It's got dry ice in it. And we got a box. What did we get in our box? Taped shut. Pork back ribs. Sweet. We got some ribs. Cool. Let's open her up. It's taped shut. Well, they appear to be cooked and sauced and frozen. Interesting. Where did these come from? There's got to be something in here to tell me where they came from, right? Oh, there it is. A message. It's from Syngenta. They had this challenge thing going on with the Saltro seed treatment upgrade or whatever that we did this year. This thing. Right here. And they had something about uploading a picture of your father for Father's Day, so I did. So they sent me a pack of ribs. Cool. Thanks, guys. Okay. Now we're going to go mow lawn. Then maybe we'll go do some more mowing with the big tractor. I don't know. I got to do this. Whew. All right. That job's done. Okay, I want to go up and check that Traveler just because last time it was running I had problems, so let's go make sure it's all running okay. and we'll see what Dad's doing with the backhoe, and maybe check out the balers. Well, it's still running. Looks okay. I think we're in good shape here. Our speed's still good. 19, we're on the last layer. 24, we should be down to 18. It's close. Turn it down just a little bit. Should have a couple hours yet, but it is getting closer here. 2:52 it says. So I've gotten a few questions and comments on some videos about double cropping soybeans now that our wheat is out. I've talked about this a little bit, but we are not going to double crop soybeans this year. Sometimes we do that, but this year with it being so dry, and we're a little bit late, we're too late now anyway, and the chemicals that we had to use to keep the weeds out of our wheat kind of prevented us from double cropping beans anyway. So no double crop beans for us this year. And then the next question I get is about whether we're going to do any drainage work and tile stuff, and absolutely we are. In fact, it's already started. I showed you a little bit of that yesterday. I'm going to show you right now what Dad's working on with that ditch that he's cleaning out, and then we're getting started, or getting ready to get started with the actual tile project in this field that I'm sitting in right now. So here's what's going on. So Dad came back here and mowed all of this, and we are going to create a waterway. You can see he already filled in that giant gully with some dirt that he has dug out. We're going to put a waterway in, surface water drain that goes over that way, not right into the end of this ditch because we don't want it to wash into it. But he pulled some of the dirt that he's cleaned out of here, and then you see he's digging there. He told me when he was coming over, he was coming to run his excavator. Said his backhoe is an excavator when he's using the backhoe, and a payloader when he's scooping dirt and hauling it. And he's right. He pushes that thing pretty hard. But so that's the outlet and where all the water's got to go to. And then you see all these flags over here. So basically from this main tile that way, we're going to split the existing tile and kind of redo it, or re-tile it, add more. This farm was tiled back after we bought it, I don't know, 30 years ago, 20 years ago, somewhere in there. But it's on 45-foot spacing, so we're going to split them, make them 22.5-foot spacings. And this is the wettest, worst area of this farm. We're going to make it probably the best. And then I think we're also going to do some up over that way, kind of where the equipment is sitting now. So we'll see what they're digging up over here. Well, here's one of the old tile that they dug up, trying to find them all and space them right. This dirt is dry, really dry. But you can see all the roots here. These are all from the wheat. You can see how deep they got down there. In fact, I pulled this out of the tile down in there. It's pretty clean. There's a little bit of dirt on the bottom, but it's not too bad. But the roots are definitely getting down into it, which isn't a terrible thing, but we don't want to get a bunch of roots in there and then they die off and plug up the tile. So, yeah. It's dry. Look how dry this dirt is. No good. Looking for another one over here. Okay, well, we're gonna let them guys work here. They do a pretty good job. They don't really need us to be here to babysit them. Dad does like to be around to help out when he can be. We'll check in every now and then, just see how progress is coming. I'll show you guys how it works and stuff, but they're just locating tile right now, trying to figure out grades and everything, and planning more so than actually putting anything in at the moment. So I don't know if they're going to get started here yet this week. I know they were working on a couple other projects trying to wrap them up before they got too busy here, but they will get to it pretty quick. They've got the tile plow in here already, and we got a load of tile in this morning, so they're ready to go whenever they decide to do it. Well, we'll get a little video of the straw guys out here working. They run two balers. There's one here and one way back over there. But yeah, they bale a lot of straw. A lot of straw. around it. And yeah, they do a pretty good job. So these guys are pretty much all small squares. And the reason for that is that they're worth more. You can sell the straw in small square bales for a lot more per ton than you can in big square bales or round bales. So they try and make everything in small squares if they can. If the time crunch happens, they'll do it in round bales or excuse me, big squares if they have to, just to get it out of the field. But prefer small squares. That's what the market is around here. Now this thing here, this is new this year. I've never seen it run, so we're gonna watch it together, but it looks pretty dang cool. Let me get turned around and drive next to it. So this is a Bale Baron, and it picks up the small squares, and basically it bundles 21 of them together. Don't ask me how, because I don't know. Got a belt to pick them up there, spins them, stacks them somehow, some kind of magic, and then it wraps them up in twine and spits them out the back in a bundle. Fascinating. So then eventually, I assume that thing's gonna fall off of there. Maybe. There it goes. And it sets it down. Then you've got this nice bundle of 21 small square bales. It's 7 long and 3 high. And they appear to be, I mean, these strings here are tight. I'm surprised. Well, I'm not surprised, but I didn't know how well this thing worked. I've never seen one before. Pretty cool. So essentially what you get is a big square bale of small square bales. Handy. Yeah. I have no idea how this thing works. It appears to have its own hydraulic reservoir and pump run by a PTO. And oil cooler there, that's what that radiator is. Pretty cool. I'll have to go look at it sometime when they're not running it, see if I can figure out how it works a little bit better. So then after they've got all these big bale bundles out here in the field, they've got a skid steer with forks on it that they're stacking them up, flipping them, laying them flat, and then stacking them up and bringing them over and piling them. I will assume the driving backwards is because you can't see anything going forward. So after they get them all piled up into a big pile enough to load a semi-truck, they bring a flatbed truck in, load them on that, and then take them back to their barn. You can see him here, he's gonna knock that over gently and then scoop it up and go set it on another one. I'm sure they're still learning the best way to do this too, because it's all new for them. They used to use a New Holland bale stacker. If you go way back in my videos, I've got a Baling Straw video from 4 or 5 years ago that kind of shows that machine and process and everything. But yeah, I assume that handling them as big bales like this is a lot more efficient, not only in the field here and getting them stacked in the barn, but when it comes to loading trucks, this will be a lot easier, faster, better than handling them all. So here is where all those bundles and bales is coming. We're stacking them in this barn, and they are stacking them in the barn. Holy mackerel. I don't know if I want to get too close to that. Wow. This is insane. It's just like building blocks when you're a kid, right? See how tall of a tower you can make before it falls over. Holy cow. That's cool though. Can you pull the forks out is the question. Yeah, you got it. Cool. Wow. Impressive. Okay. Well, that straw stuff is pretty cool. They're an impressive operation. Anyway, I've got about a half an hour before I gotta go up and move that trailer. And my boys just got here. So I'm gonna go say hi. What? Your tractor's dirty. Grandpa's not here, bud. Show me your dirty tractor. Whoa, look at those tires. Yeah, I was riding the gator. How are you? What do you got? What is that? Your monster truck? Whoa. Oh yeah, Tucker's here. Okay, it is time to go move that Traveler. And we need a tractor up there because we brought the 7520 home to hook onto that mower. So we're taking the 4440 up, which is not as nice of a tractor, but it's got rear lights that work. Plus, we've got a helper tonight. You say hi? Hi. Hi. Okay, so we'll see you up there. Well, I got the tractor up here and everything's good except for I realized that I forgot my hitch pin that I leave in the hitch on the 7520 and it's now in the cab on the 7520. Makes this a little more difficult, but we can get it done. That corn plant fell over? Oh man.
It didn't have any water.
It didn't have any water?
No.
I think it got ran over.
Why?
It was in the way. That's okay. Let's go on down there by the other tractor. Do you know that sprinkler you play with at Mammy's house? Yeah. Look at this big sprinkler that we've got up here. Look at that big sprinkler. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it is just about done. We're just waiting for it to finish up here. I did put some of that pipe back together that I had to take apart before. But we do have that one broken piece there that we've got to fix it, or we'll just put a different one in for now and we'll get that one fixed later. So
Are we going back?
we're not going back yet. In a little bit, another 10 minutes or so and this will be done. We got to pull up to the next riser up there. Down there. I should check the oil and make sure this tractor starts. It's been 5 days since it ran. Well, we're getting rides in on all the old tractors today. I don't think he's ever rode on the 4440 or the 4020 before. This one's real short, 360 feet. Just up to the next lane. Okay, well we got moved to the next spot and we're pulling the gun out. I found a pin. It's not really a hitch pin, it's a pin for a 3-point quick hitch on the 4020 that it works. So I'm using that to pull out the gun here. This tractor does not have an IVT. It doesn't have a speed readout that's real accurate, so we're guessing a little bit at 3 miles an hour. But we'll get it. Here's a screenshot of what the radar looks like right now. You think that rain's gonna make it to us?
Yeah.
Or not? Should I start the pump? Or not? I'm not sure. I'm starting to see a few tassels poking out up here. This end of the field's 109-day corn. It's a little bit earlier than where we're at right now, which is 112 days, so I'm not surprised to see it tasseling first. Okay, well, I decided to start the pump back up, and Grandpa came up with Brayson to pick us up and take us back so we can leave this tractor here, and so Rylan jumped in with them. So all we got to do is get this tractor in position for the next pull, and go start the reel up on the Traveler. I decided to start this run up because it's a short pull anyway. It's going to be done at about 11:15 tonight, which if that rain gets here, probably be about then anyway. And we'll be able to make a decision as to whether we want to make the next run or shut her down at that time. It's getting to be rather corn maze-ish out here. Trying to remember which path to drive down and where all you gotta go to get where you need to be. That's you. Okay guys, well we got that up and running. Hopefully it rains and we can just go up there and shut the pump off later tonight and not worry about it. If not, and it doesn't look like it's going to, I'll probably pull it out and keep going, but we'll see what things look like at 11 tonight. We're heading home and that's going to be it for today. So have a great night, everybody. If you have any questions and comments, leave them down below. Hit the like and subscribe buttons for me, please. We're getting close to that 10,000 mark. Tomorrow, I'm not sure what all's going on. We'll probably do some mowing, which I said I was going to do today and never got to, but that's kind of my plan. I don't know. We'll figure it out tomorrow. And we'll go from there. So we'll see you guys. Thanks for watching.